Alright friends, now we come to the third type of files in Power BI, and this is something really new and interesting. We have the PBIP. PBIP. So it stands for Power BI projects, and it's all about that we're gonna save our projects in multiple separate files so that in big Power BI projects our team can collaborate and manage changes. Now let's understand exactly what this means. Alright, so now so far what you have done is that you are working in Power BI projects, and if you want to save your work you either use PBIX or PBIT. Everything gonna be stored in one file. This is totally fine if you are individual, or let's say you have very small team, but my friend, you're gonna really struggle as your project grow and you have multiple people in your team that gonna work with you in the same project. So now why it is really bad to use those files in big projects? The first big issue was collaboration, because usually one person gonna go and build the visuals, another one gonna go and extend the data model, and maybe you have a business expert that is adding more calculations and business logic to the file. So now what's gonna happen? Everyone gonna take their own copy in order to do the changes, and then good luck merging everything back to one single file. This is usually very painful process and really hard to manage and maintain. The second reason of that, those Power BI files are actually binary files. So if you go and open it using your text editor, you're gonna find all those strange special characters and stuff. This is not made for human to read, and you can only use those files using the Power BI desktop. So you cannot edit the code behind those files, which is really something annoying in real projects, because usually in projects we want to track the changes, we want to compare versions, we want to roll back to a previous state. But of course you might say, okay, let's go and put it in the GitHub, but this will not really help us because it works only if you have a code. So the GitHub will not really understand the content of those binary files, and with that we're gonna lose a lot of features, like we cannot track the changes, we cannot compare anything. You still have to open Power BI desktop to see what really changed. So that means we don't have a clear history on how things changed over the time, and this is a big issue in projects. So because of all those issues, finally recently Power BI introduced a new way on how we save our projects using the PBIP. So now if you use the PBIP format, what's gonna happen? Instead of saving everything in one single binary file, Power BI gonna save it as a project. So we're gonna have one folder for the reports, and then make split where we're gonna have another folder for the semantic model. So that means, my friends, Power BI gonna go and take your report, your visuals, and start saving everything inside the report folder into different files and folders, like the definitions, the metadata, and as well it's gonna go and take your data model and store it inside the semantic model folder, of course again into multiple files and folders. So this is already a big win for you in a project where not everyone is working on the same single file. So now maybe you have a couple of people working on the visuals on the report folder and some others working on the data model, and with that we have a split and we are working on multiple files and folders, but at the end everything for the same project. So this is not the only thing. Now there is a second very big win. All those files that are stored inside the folders, they are not anymore binary based. They are, my friends, JSON files. They are text-based files. That means finally now in professional projects we can go and edit the Power BI projects without using the Power BI desktop. We can go and open our visual code in order to make changes inside the projects, and once we publish all those files to the GitHub, finally GitHub gonna understand the content of the projects, where it's gonna show us exactly where the changes happen. It's gonna show us the differences between the new version and the old version, and as well reviewing the project is gonna be way easier using the GitHub. And of course we can easily roll back to something old if something goes wrong with the new version. So we get all those features with the GitHub, and we can now manage professionally the project. That means now we can professionally edit the project and as well manage the versions, the history. And by the way, there is like a third win, which is a little bit more advanced. It's gonna make it as well easier to do something called CI/CD pipelines, where we can push the project easily between multiple environments. So this is exactly what we mean with the PBI projects. This is meant for big projects where you have multiple people working on the same Power BI projects. It's gonna make it really easy to collaborate between different people on the project, and as well it can make it easy to do changes and to control the version of your project. But of course, if you are one individual or you have a very small team or you are just learning Power BI, you don't need it yet. It's only as you go and enter like a company that has a big Power BI project. So now of course, let's go and save our project using this type. Okay, so now back to our work. We have some kind of model and some visual, and we would like to save it. So we're gonna go and say save as, browse this device. Now before storing things here, I'm gonna go and say new and then folder. I'm gonna call it my projects, and then I'm gonna go inside it, and I'm gonna call it, for example, sales dashboard. And of course here the type of the file is very important. This time we're gonna try out the project file, PBIP. So click on it and then save. Okay, so now let's browse to the location and see our projects. Now, as you can see already, we have a lot of things. So we have 2 folders, 1 get ignore, and the sales dashboards. So let's check them one by one. The sales dashboard, it is like the entry point to your project. If you want to open the whole thing in Power BI desktop, you're gonna go and start it from here. So if I start it, I'm gonna land again in the same project inside Power BI desktop. And of course, inside this file, there is actually nothing. There is no visual, no data, no data model. It is just pointing to the other folders and files. Okay, so this is one thing. Now another thing, we have those folders. So the first one, as you can see, the sales dashboard dot reports. It is a folder that contains actually all my visuals, all the charts, tables, slicers, layout, formatting, interaction, everything is stored here. And now of course we will not deep dive into each one of them because this is very advanced, but I just want you now to have a feeling about this type of format. So in the PBI, we're gonna have some local settings for the user. So those are my settings as I'm using now Power BI. Now if I go back, this is gonna be the static resources. Here Power BI gonna store all the assets and the themes that is used for the project. Now I'm just using default things, so there will be no crazy things over here. And then we have the platform. It is something very technical that's gonna connect the Fabric with the GitHub. There are like 2 different platforms to be connected. And then in the definition, it's going to contain the link, or let's say the connection between the reports and the semantic model. So now you can see here it says the dataset reference, which is the semantic model, and you can see here the semantic model name. And with that, I know, okay, this Power BI report is connected with this model. It is not that crazy. So now next we come to the most important one, the report.json. Here it is the real description of your whole report, like the pages, the visuals, layout, formatting. And again, this is only metadata. This is only description. So for example, in the reports, if you have like, I don't know, 100 customers, you will not find the 100 customers inside this file. We are just seeing the description of our reports. So now let's go inside it using any editor. So again, text editor, or let's say the Visual Studio Code. Now we're gonna see a lot of informations. I know this is overwhelming at the start, but again, this is only for advanced projects. Now we're gonna see at the start some configurations about the report, but what is really interesting, the sections. Now we're gonna see here we have something called display name page number 1, and this comes exactly from my report. So those tabs over here, I have only one tab called page 1. And now inside this, of course, we have only one visual. So if you go over here, you can see this visual container where you can find all the settings of this visual, like the height, the width, the position, and stuff like that. So that means by looking to this, I have one page, and inside it, I have only one visual. Now let's go and change stuff. Like for example, let's go and duplicate the current page, and we're gonna call it customer by level. And then we're gonna turn this to maybe a bar chart. And then let's go and duplicate it again. So copy and paste it. And I will change this visual to only maybe a card so that I can see we have 5 customers. That's it. Let's go and save the work again. again inside my project using the same format. Let's go and replace everything. So now let's go and open again the report.json and let's check the information. So now look at this. We have something called customer by level. This is one tab and the second tab is here. So we have page 1. So with that I can see I have 2 tabs. And now inside the customer level we had 2 visuals, right? So one visual for the bar chart and another one for the cards. So as you can see, I can check the design of my project not only using the Power BI desktop, but as well by reading the metadata informations. But again, we will not go deep into all details. So now by looking to all those files inside the reports, I can say what is interesting is the definition to tell you which model is connected to which report. And the second one is the report.json in order to see the descriptions of your visuals and charts. So actually that's all for the first folder. Let's go and check the second one, the semantic model. So again, we have the same things, the PBI, the platform, the definition. And here comes 2 new files. So we have the first one, the diagram layout JSON. So let's go and open it. Now you're gonna see again your tables inside the data model. And here it is, I'm gonna say not that interesting because it's just describing the layout. So if you go back to Power BI, it is just describing the position of this card here, this box. So whether it is here or on the left side, right side, whatever, and how big this box is. But actually this is not really interesting compared to the metadata of the table itself. So the content of this table, of course, you will not find it over here. This is just the layout. And for that, we have the second file. So the model.pim. So let's go inside it again with any editor. Now inside this file, you're going to find actually a lot of things like the description of the tables, the columns, the measures, the relationships, the metadata, everything inside the data model. So that's why it's going to be really huge. But now if you just scroll down, you're going to find, for example, the first table is the products manual. And as well, you're going to find which columns it contains. So it contains the product ID. You can see here the data type and as well the name from the source system, like because we can rename things so that you can find a really nice mapping between those two, and a lot of things like we can summarize it by count. Then another column, we have the brand. You can see it is the data type string. And we cannot summarize it because it is a string here. Same thing for the next column. So with that, you can see all the details about your data model in a JSON format, in a text, or let's say a code. So all the work that I do in this view, the model view, it is described in this file, and this is a very important one. So my friends, as you can see now, everything is open and I'm able to browse my project, but now using files and metadata without actually using the Power BI desktop. And now, of course, we come to the most important question. Where is my data? All what I'm seeing now is just metadata informations, descriptions, and stuff, but I loaded my data inside Power BI. Now, what can happen with it? Is it lost or what? Well, here it really depends, of course, on the connection mode. If you are using an import, then the data gonna be inside those folders. If not, if you are using Dart query, your data gonna stay, of course, at the sources. But now, in this example, I was using an import mode. So now where the data is stored, if you go to the semantic model to the .ppi, I'm gonna find here an EPF file, the cache, and here all my data gonna be inside this file. Of course, you cannot go and open it with the editor because it is some kind of internal thing that's only Power BI understands. If you are using an import, you're gonna find all your data inside this file. If not, if you are using Dart query, then nothing gonna happen here. So my friends, actually that's it. This is the whole structure of the PBIP Power BI project files. And now my friends, I totally understand you if you tell me, you know what, you just got me scared. A lot of coding, metadata, JSON file, technical stuff. I know that Power BI is easy. I just want to build some visuals and that's it. Well, you are totally right, because 80% of people don't have to deal with all those files. If you are a solo data analyst or you are a business user that just want to connect data and start building visuals, actually you don't have to learn all those stuff. It is just for those demanding developers that need something more advanced for their big projects. Sometimes in big organization you have really big Power BI team that that need to collaborate with each other, and they need some kind of advanced tools, or let's say structure, to work with. So I'm gonna say at this phase, at the start, you don't have to deal with all those stuff. I just want to show you this possibility so that you understand, okay, if you see PBIP, I remember it's a lot of files for advanced like projects. So we still build reports the same way using Power BI desktop, and it's gonna handle the rest in the background. But if you enter really advanced modern projects with a lot of people, then you might need to understand the structure of those files. So don't worry and don't be scared. Okay friends, so now let's go and compare them side by side to understand all the differences between those three types. So we have PBIX, PBIT and PBIB. The PBIX stands for Power BI reports, PBIT for the Power BI templates, PBIP is the Power BI projects. Now about the structure, the X and the T, it is one single file, but with the PBIB it is a folder structure, so it is split into multiple files and folders. Now about the content inside the file, the PBIX gonna contain everything, the data, the model and the visual, but with the PBIT it will never contain data, so you're gonna find only the model and the visuals. For the PBIP, again like the PBIX, it depends if you are using import or direct query, it's gonna contain as well all the three layers. Now one more point about where we usually store those files. Now about the PBIX, since this is something only for me where I'm building my projects, so usually we store it locally at our machine and we don't go and share it unless you trust the others with the data, of course. The PBIT, since it is like a template, we usually share it in a shared drive so that the others can reuse it for their projects. And for the PBIP, it is the perfect format for the Git repository, so we usually store it in the project repository in order to collaborate with the project teams. So now of course comes the very important question, when to use what? Now if you are solo, or maybe you are working in very small team, 1 to 2 persons, and you are building something from the scratch, so you are building a data model, a report, or maybe you are just changing things that already exist, then we're gonna use the type PBIX because we use it in order to build things. But now let's say that you build something really amazing, great, and you want to share it with the others in order to reuse the structure so that they don't have to start from the zero, from the scratch, but with only one condition: you don't want to share your data. Maybe for security reasons it's not allowed to share it with other departments or other companies. Then you're gonna use the PBIT, the Power BI template. But now let's say that you enter the company or maybe a big project where you have many colleagues that are working on the same Power BI solution, on the same project. Then of course you're gonna need version control, you need to collaborate with the others, and for that we use the PBIP, which is gonna make the life easier for everyone. So now my friends, at the end, as you can see, those formats at the start you might think they are very technical, PBIT, PBIX and P, but actually they are created based on how people work, not based on the technicality of Power BI. So at the start we have PBIX, but over the time Microsoft understood we cannot share our data always inside Power BI. That's why they brought the PBIT, and as Power BI like expanded and became like standards in many companies, there were a lot of advanced users and developers in big projects where they complained about the one single file project. That's why recently Power BI introduced the third type, the PBIP. It's all based on how people work more than the technicality of Power BI. So with that, you know all three. And now of course my friends, if you enjoy this type of content where I'm sketching how things works behind the scenes, this is really time consuming, then support the channel by subscribing and commenting. This can really help to push on the channel to reach nice people like you. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next Power BI video. Bye bye.